Triss chooses to go outside of Chicago because A, she feels like it's in her destiny, and B, Chicago can't offer her what it used to be able to offer her. She doesn't have family anymore. Her brother betrayed her. She has 4, but politically and socially and economically, the entire system is breaking down. It's a completely different organism. It has its own political leaders. It's a full-blown running society. And I think when Triss and Four enter, they're a little bit hesitant of it, and yet also very keen on the luxuries that come with a world that's not war-torn, and come with a world that's functioning and has access to things that they didn't have access to in Chicago. The pure are people who are genetically pure, meaning that their genes have not been altered by scientists in a lab. And the damaged are people whose genes, whether it was from their direct parents or their ancestors, their genes have been manipulated by genetic engineering. This movie is interesting because Triss and Four both go their own directions, and they're very much sort of out of contact and out of communication with one another. Triss is up in the bureau with David, and Four is on the floor in the fringe with the military of the bureau. And they both see different sides of who this David person is, and that creates distance between them because Four has one idea and Triss has another idea, and they can't seem to come to an agreement. The new cast, it was really exciting. I had a lot of scenes with Bill Skarsgård, who's incredibly talented, and he has sort of this really great old soul, classic way about him for being so young. And Nadia Hilker, who's very mysterious and beautiful and incredibly talented as well. And then Andy Bean, who plays Ramit, who's sort of you can't quite tell any of these new characters whether they're good or guys or bad guys, whether they're antagonists or protagonists. And then Jeff Daniels, who plays David, his character is quite mysterious as well because you don't really know what he's vying for, like what drives his vision and what drives his purpose. Audiences can expect just as much action as they've seen in Divergent and Insurgent. The opening of this film is quite large in scope and in range. You see the characters going over the wall, and that's a large running sequence. And the action of getting up and over the wall and then rock climbing back down the bottom of it and exploring the fringe.